here are the answers to the Chapter 1 practice test. Number 1, it says that you have negative 10 for point A and point B is 2, and it says find the point 1/3 of the way from A to B. So you know that from 0 to 2, that's 2 units, and from 0 to negative 10, that's 10 units. So 10 plus 2 is 12. So you have 12 units. So once you have your 12 units, you're going to multiply that by 1/3, and 12, which is 12 over 3, and 3 goes into 12 4 times. So that means that you are going to count over from left to right 4 units. So you're 10, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 9, 8, 7, 6, and that's negative 6. So your new point, that's 1/3 of the way from A to B, is negative 6. Number 2, it says list these points in order from least to greatest. So obviously you need to have your bigger negative numbers first, all the way to the least. So from least, the smallest, because you would rather owe somebody $1.70 than $2.40. So this is the biggest negative all the way to the least. So least to greatest. Number 3 has negative 5, absolute value of negative 5, minus absolute value of 2. So you know the absolute value of negative 5 is 5, and negative 5 minus negative 2 is negative 7. Number 4a, number 4a, you have 10 plus 3 times 5 divided by 5 plus 2 times 7. So you are going to look at your order of operations first, and that says that you have to look at your parentheses. So inside the parentheses, you have to multiply first. 5 times 3 is 15. Then you have 10 plus 15, which is 25. And now you can look at the whole equation together. And so you have division and multiplication and addition here. So you're going to look at your division and multiplication first. So 25 divided by 5 is 5, and 2 times 7 is 14. When you add those together, you get 19. B, 15 divided by 3 minus 4 plus 4 times 8 minus 6. Again, you got to do order of operations. So you are going to do your division first. 15 divided by 3 is 5. And then you do 4 times 8, which is 32. And now you have to use the left to right rule because you have addition and subtraction together. So you would do 5 minus 4 is 1, plus 32 is 33, minus 6 is 27. C, 2, absolute value, 10 minus 3, minus 3 absolute value, 5 plus 2 absolute value, minus 3 absolute value, 3 minus 7 absolute value. So you're going to look at what's in the absolute values first because that's like parentheses. So you're going to do 10 minus 3 is 7. 5 plus 2 is 7. And 3 minus 7 is negative 4. And, oops, forgot the 3. And since you know that this is an absolute values, you need to make that negative 3 times positive 4. And this was a 7, so you're just going to have negative 3 times 7 and 2 times 7. So now you can multiply. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 3 is 21. 3 times 4 is 12. And now you're going to use the left to right rule, and you're going to do 14 minus 21 minus 12, which is negative 19. D, you have 2 to the 4th power minus 3 squared we're using order of operations. You're going to do your exponents first. 2 to the 4th is 16. 3 squared is 9. And 5 to the 3rd is 125. The reason this is not a positive 9 is because it's not in parentheses. If it was in parentheses, then it would be a positive 9. Then you're going to use the left to right rule and you get 132. E says to evaluate, and everywhere you see an X, you are going to plug in -3. And now you can use order of operations. You're going to have, looking at the top first, pretend the 4 isn't even there. You're going to do order of operations on top. It's 2 times -3 is -6. -6 minus 5 is -11, and that's still over 4. Now let's look at the next fraction. 3 times -3 is -9. -9 minus 6 is -15 over 4. And when you add, you have common denominators, so you can add. If they weren't common, you'd have to multiply the top and the bottom to get common denominators. So it's going to be -26 over 4. 2 goes into both of those, so it's -13 over 2. Number 5, we have the properties. Okay, so make sure you are memorizing the properties for your test on Tuesday. The first one is 6 times 3 equals 3 times 6, and the answer is commutative because the order is changing. For B, you have -8 times 8 is 0, and that is inverse, because you're adding by the opposite, or multiplying, or actually, yeah, I was adding, I just wrote it wrong. Adding by the opposite. C, you have 6 plus 5 plus 9 equals 6 plus 5 plus 9. And if you notice, what changed was what was being grouped in the parentheses. So it is associative, because associative deals with grouping. If the grouping was the same and the 6 and the 9 were switched, then it would be associative. Then it would be commutative because the order changes. So associative deals with grouping when the groupings change, and commutative deals with order. And D is identity because you're getting the same answer when you add by 0. 6A, it says solve and check, so we have 12y minus 5 equals 29. You're going to add 5 to the other side. You get 12y equals 34. Divide by 12, y equals, you would have to reduce this, so you get 17 over 6, and you're dividing it by 2. 2 went into both of them. B, you have 2x minus 5 plus 5x plus 8 equals 31. You're going to combine like terms. You have 7x. 8 minus 5 is 3. Subtract 3. You have 7x equals 28. Divide by 7. X equals 4. 6c, you have 3z plus 13 equals 8z minus 22. You're going to combine like terms, so I'm going to subtract 3z to the other side, and I'm going to add 22 over to this side, so I've grouped them with the like terms. So I have 13 plus 22 is 35, and 8 minus 3 is 5. Divide by 5, and you know that z is going to equal 7. D, have to distribute. And the important thing to remember about this is that you distribute the -2. So it's -2 times 4 is -8W. And -2 times -3 is +6W. And then the same thing over here, you're distributing the -2. So it's -8 minus 2W. And then I would combine like terms here. You get 16 minus 8W equals, here you can combine like terms, -6W minus 8. I'm going to add 6W over here, and I'm going to subtract 16 to the other side. So these are gone, and these are gone. So now we have combined like terms here. I'm going to have -2W equals -24. Divide by -2. W equals +12. E. I have 5x minus 8 minus 3, 4 minus x equals -12. Again, you're distributing, you get 5x minus 40. -3 times 4 is 12, and +3x equals -12. I combine like terms, I get 8x minus 52 equals -12, plus 52 to the other side. I get 8x equals a +40. Divide by 8, x equals 5. Okay, now we're on number 7A. 7A, you're writing them using numbers and symbols. So it says 4 less than, so that's going to be a minus sign. 4 less than the product of a number and 3. So the product of a number and 3. Product means to multiply. So it's 4 less than a product of a number and 3. So I multiplied 3 and x. And the reason I didn't write 4 minus 3x is because whenever you have less than or more than, you have to switch it around. So I know it sounds like it should be 4 less than the product of a number and 3, but less than means you have to switch these around. So this is the correct answer. Same with number 5. It says 5 less than twice a number. And again, since it's less than, you have to rewrite it, so it's 2x minus 5. C, the sum of a number, so that means we're adding, so the sum of a number, and it's reciprocal. And its is talking about that number, so that number is reciprocal. 8A, it says 8 times a number decreased by, 8 times a number decreased by 5 is equal to the number decreased by 36. So 8 times a number, decrease means subtract, so decrease by 5, is equal, means an equal sign, is equal to the number, so that's x, which we don't know, decreased by 26. Now you just solve this. I would subtract x and I would add 5. So I'm going to have 7x equals -21. When you divide by 7, you get -3. B, the sum of 3 consecutive odd integers. So consecutive odd integers means that you have x, x plus 2, and x plus 4. It would be the same if it said the sum of 3 consecutive even, because remember, these are even and odd formula for consecutive odd or even integers. If it was just consecutive integers, it would be 1 and then 2 here. So it says the sum of 3 consecutive odd integers is 75. You add these all together, you get 3x plus 6 equals 75. You subtract 6, you get 3x equals 69. X equals 23 when you divide by 3. Now, that's not your final answer because you didn't ask the question. It says find the integers, and it's talking about the 3 integers. So you plug 23. 23 plus 2 is 25, and 23 plus 4 is 27. So make sure you write all of those down.